Welcome to the Wedco podcast, where wedding wisdom meets street smarts.
We're dishing out all the tips, tricks, and wedding goss to take your wedding to the next level.
Time to ditch the formalities and get this party started. Hello and welcome to the Wedco podcast. I'm Togger.
And I'm Joel, and we are here at the beautiful Kwila Lodge today.
Perfect. And today we have on the podcast Lauren Bridges Celebrant. How are you going?
Good. Thanks for having me, boys. Shoddy for the potty.
That sounds good to me after this. But no, seriously, thank you so much for coming down. I know it was a big travel for you to get here today.
10 minutes. Just walked, actually. Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, we've reached out to our Instagram community, so we've got a few questions for you coming up later on in the segment. Okay. But I guess we just start off with a little bit of who you are. We might start on, say, the celebrancy side of things and then move to the collective after that. But yeah, maybe a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the industry and stuff.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a baby in the industry amongst everyone else that I kind of talk to. So I've just moved into my third year of being a marriage celebrant.
Yeah, awesome.
But I hit the ground running really quickly. Yeah. So as soon as I launched my celebrant business, I took it full time straight away and then had a oh shit moment and brought in a business coach and really nailed what I could do within my business, but also making sure that I can also deliver that dream ceremony for my couples as well. Yeah. So I think straight off the bat, I booked 100 weddings in my first year. I married 70 couples in my first year.
Jeez.
My second year, I did 110 weddings. And as of this morning, I just booked my 300th wedding. Hit my third year.
How on earth? Teach me how you get inquiries.
Who is this business coach? And are you doing business coaching?
Yeah, I know. I'll give you some free advice.
That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
how much of that, to get those bookings, was a lot of that to do with the business coach, or was that what was your strategy?
My strategy, I guess straight away I knew where I wanted to go with my business. I knew that I wanted to marry couples that were having the luxury weddings that would pay a high price as well. So I also knew that I wanted to hit a market, and I had a goal to charge X amount within 2 years, and I think I hit it just after my first year.
So good.
Then I knew where to find my couples as well, was predominantly Instagram. Yeah. So I invested in Instagram straight away. So I did invest a lot of, obviously, time into my business, but I also invested a lot of money into it and marketing as well. I think naturally I was just really good at networking and gift to the gab. I don't think I realized that until later on though, and it just happened. I was very fortunate that I did get on a few vendor lists somewhat straight away within venues on the Gold Coast. So that definitely helped me there. But
that's not luck though. I don't getting on a vendor list. That's not luck. You've obviously got something that you can offer to the community, and that's why you get on a vendor list. So hats off to you. That's
it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not another celebrant.
No, I'm just here for a good time. I want to make sure that, the venue is too. And I genuinely care about what I do. Yeah. And I think maybe it just shows. I don't know.
Have you come from a different business background before you started Celebrancy then?
I did, completely different. Yep. So senior medical receptionist in accounts for radiology for 10 years prior to this. I just shook it up.
Yeah. But I'm also are there skills that you learned in your past? You've got to be in the not even 1% of people starting a business, especially in weddings. It is a lot of, I would say, artists essentially that just I'll do this and see what happens. No one's making a business plan. No one's got a business coach. Did you learn some of these aspects in your previous life before coming over to being a celebrant?
Oh, it's a big question because it's such a different area. I guess I just really OCD. And I think, I did manage a team in my previous role as well. So I think I just really stood by the structure and having my, business layout and how it kind of works in play. Yep. So I think that just really helped format my like my journey for my couples.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Yep.
I guess for me, it's not just about the wedding day.
Of course.
It's the wedding planning journey. It's the whole lead up to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Are you using like a wedding specific CRM or something like that? Did you jump onto something like that straight away?
yeah, I jumped onto Studio Ninja straight away and
Yep.
set up my processes and everything that I need from my couples.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's so nice when you go through that and just like things happen automatically and you're just like, cool, 1 month out, this happens, 3 months out, this happens.
Yeah, and honestly, God sent, because I remember when I first started, I'm like, I don't need a CRM. I'll just like put all my inquiries into this Excel sheet.
Yeah.
But now I get so many inquiries, I would not be able to keep up with them and do all the follow-ups and things like that. And also making sure that my couples are like on time as well, because I do marry quite a few couples that I would not be able to keep up with them without a CRM.
Yeah, all the Chris and Sarahs you can't work out, which is
Oh, I married a couple once. She was called Lauren, he was called Lawrence, and I'm Lauren. So, like, you know, you get them.
And do you have you come from, you know, you were managing a team and everything previously. Have you built out a team within your business, or is that something you're looking to do?
We do. We've got 2 staff.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. So I have Rick. He's the vendor coordinator, and he's who most of you would have talked to. I knew straight away that I would need somebody in my team backing this as well, because I also wanted to remove my celebrant self somewhat from Wedding Collective.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I think it's known that I own it, but it's just, we're 2 different businesses as well. Like my celebrant business is so personalized, whereas Wedding Collective is about other people.
Yes.
So I didn't want to kind of be that front runner. Plus, I just don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
So I brought Rick in as my VA in my celebrant business prior to getting to the nitty gritty where we would do the outreach.
Awesome.
And I just wanted to navigate him, see how he worked, and he could navigate me as well.
Yeah.
So he is actually across both of my businesses.
Okay.
Awesome.
And does both sides of it. Then we've also got Isabel. So she does the social media and digital marketing
Oh, amazing.
side of it as well. So
That
again,
helps so
I
much.
don't have time to do that.
No, not at all. And that's, you definitely need a skill. You need, I think, feel like you need to be 18 to 21 and you just need all the time on the phone.
yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so we were touching base a little bit earlier about the creation of the Wedding Collective. Do you want to go into that a little bit? Like, how did
Where
that
that
come?
came from? Yeah. Call me crazy, because I did launch that just after finishing up my first year as a celebrant. I like to start my year with doing a psychic reading, and I just wanted to see where I was going, and I actually did it for the business side of things, not my personal life. So we kind of sat there, talked about business stuff, and she said, there's something else coming. It's going to be big. You need to start working on your database now and getting all this kind of stuff together. And I'm like, okay, what is it?
I already used Studio Ninja. Like, what do I
yeah. So that just got me sitting and thinking, and I'm like, what is this business? Because she didn't exactly tell me what it is. She just said kind of the things that I need to put to play. She's like, you need to get your business name now and build your database.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, but what's my database? Like, what am I collecting?
What's the business name for? Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, I just sat on it, and I remember having my notebook next to me, and I'm like, what is my business? What is it going to be called? And I started thinking, like, where's there a gap in the market? What can we do? I already had an ebook that I would give to all of my couples as a celebrant. And I found that they would always reach out to me, whether it's just DMing me on Instagram, going through my ebook and knowing who my recommended vendors are. And I would find that I would always work with the same vendors, but I also knew that they were really good.
Yeah.
They would give these couples justice. They're really cruisy on the day as well, because like you need to have a good vibe on the day.
for sure.
And I knew that I had some sort of influence here on who my couples book. I also noticed, you know, in those wedding Facebook groups that you see all the time, I say, I'm looking for a celebrant, I'm looking for this. And I know it's like a whole different like ball game of like, who are people looking for? And there's a whole different market there as well. However, people are asking these questions because they genuinely don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Where do you go to book your wedding on the Gold Coast?
Totally.
Like there's, you know, little expos that you have around as well. And I'm thinking, well, I could put them in a directory, right?
Yeah.
This is them. Perfect. Cool. There's that one-stop place. But it also didn't feed my soul.
Yep.
Like, it's a directory. Cool.
There's a million of those.
There's a million. Yeah. But also, how do I get these vendors that are essentially booked out, that already have their marketing downplay on a directory? Like, they probably don't want it. Plus, it's just not exciting.
Yeah, it isn't.
So I'm like, how do we need to build this, make it exciting for vendors, making it exciting for couples as well,
yeah.
really play on that whole wedding planning journey. And it was just to hold an open day. Bang, you join the platform, you get invited to the open day as well.
Yep.
And let's just make it like really freaking good, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can go to an expo at the
Yeah,
convention centre, and that is hitting a different market.
Yes.
But I already knew that I wanted to hit a different market.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit the weddings that, have the big, beautiful venues like Kwila Lodge here. And, they've got a little bit of money to spend because they genuinely want to have the best day and they want to trust the vendors that they have there.
Yep.
So I'm also quite selective on who I wanted to let in to really nail that brand of Wedding Collective Gold Coast.
Yep.
So
I can imagine that'd be pretty challenging because I'm sure that there's certain people that want to join. Like, how do you kind of navigate that you're like, I just don't think it's the right
aligns.
fit. Yeah.
It's not easy because I know that.
You suck.
We're fully booked.
Well, I don't think anybody sucks. I think that's the one thing,
Plays
But
Switzerland
I
for
think,
us.
Room to grow.
I think you can see when people hit a different market.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's probably it. So when I look at bringing in vendors, I'm not bringing in a vendor to enhance their business.
Yep.
They already need to have their business
Totally.
there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I can see that you aren't already doing the weddings at these venues and you're not aligned with the vendors that we already have,
Yeah.
then we're just not the right fit
Yeah,
for
for sure.
now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Can we fill in a little bit? How many venues are going to be included this year or for Sunday?
So we've got 9.
9.
That's amazing.
Yep, 9 venues.
Yeah, awesome.
And I always had in my head I was going to cap it at 10 because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So for the next one, for sure, capping it at 10 again.
Okay. And essentially, kind of one of each vendor, pretty much at each of the venues.
Yeah, pretty much, except for certain elements where it is like a stylist, florist sort of thing. We've got different areas, photographers as well, because there's so many photographers. And there's so many good photographers out there. Like, I just want them all.
Yeah.
So there's that, a little bit, but not too many.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And so are you right to talk about how many people you're kind of expecting over the course of the weekend?
Yeah, we've had a really great response, actually. I'm really excited for this one, also considering it is the first year.
Exactly.
So we would hit 600 ticket registrations tonight, and that will be a week out. So I know with that final push from us, from vendors, from venues, also with just all the digital marketing and, emails, texts and things like that, I reckon we could push. I reckon we could go to 700, seeing what I get in every single day, and knowing that that's almost doubling at the moment.
Exactly. And also because people are lazy and they're not going to, can they still come along? Say someone doesn't actually get a ticket, but they're like, I'm just going to come along anyway.
No, I'm going to tell them they have to leave.
Get out of here. You're not welcome.
But fling a business card.
Join the photographer list, you jerks.
Yeah.
You suck.
No, absolutely. Everyone is welcome, but I think it's good if they register for a ticket because we need to know numbers. Venues are putting on food. They're putting on little tasters, champagne. I need to know numbers. Otherwise, you're not going to get that canapé when you walk in the door. And if you have tasted Ridgewade's food, it is so good.
Yep. And I think Amanda was saying they're doing little group tours and stuff like that if people are coming down as well. So even I'm sure different venues are doing different things like that.
Yeah, everyone's a little bit different, but this is actually really important that couples do need to go and register for their viewing, especially at the Grounds Estate where they have got limited parking there. It is really important that they register for a private viewing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, cool.
But it's all on our website as well. You can go and see it all the times, who needs to register.
Yeah. So this episode, we're actually going to air it before Sunday, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And so the trail is on Sunday the 18th.
Yes, that's right.
And is there any advice you want to give to anyone that is listening to this that wants to come and check out any of the 9 venues on the coast?
Oh, just have fun with it. Yeah. This whole day is about having fun, taking it in, experiencing it. Just breathe it in, stay at the venues, eat the food, listen to the musos. I think we've got gelato going around. Have some gelato.
Amazing.
You don't want to just come in and then leave. You want to come in and
experience,
soak it in. Yeah. Fall in love with every decision that you make. Honestly, this is such a time of your life. Just really take it in.
Yeah. It's one thing that I like because I talk to, I jump on a Zoom or go and grab a coffee or something with every single one of the clients that book me. And so for me, I'm the same kind of concept. I'm I don't want you to book me if I'm not a vibe for your day because there's going to be someone that's going to be like way better that suits you or whatever like that. So it's the same concept with the trails. It's like, it's not so much us getting to like market to you and be like, oh, you know, it's obviously a great tool for us, but more importantly, it's a good chance for you to actually like meet people and be like, do I like this gelato, or is this Celebrant, you know, going to fit my vibe, like those kind of things. So I think it's great. I think like we were saying to Amanda earlier, it's just something that the Gold Coast needed so desperately.
Yeah,
like seriously, like it's the Gold Coast I've been doing it for 6 years, and it's just been, the Gold Coast is stale. I do most of my weddings in Toowoomba and North New South Wales, and like Gold Coast is kind of just nothing. So it's been like, you know, the last year and a half, it's been like kind of things are starting to happen here. And
Yeah,
it's like,
nice.
oh, it's exciting.
Venues are definitely uplifting. Like the amount of venues you see now, and you're like, it's a place now.
Yeah.
Like people would actually come here, and people with money would actually come here
Yeah.
now. Like there was a whole lot
Absolutely.
of rustic venues around, you know? And so it's so nice to see this change here. Because like all the Gold Coast crew are heading to Tweed. And they're like, cool, we're going to go to Summer Grove or somewhere, you know, over the border.
Yeah.
When it's like so beautiful here, why would you not stay here?
Yeah. But I think that's the thing, is the venues had that style, but now there's all these new venues popping up. But I've also noticed that there's a lot of old venues doing full renovations.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they are leveling up as well. So it's definitely going to be the place to stay, to get married. We've got such beautiful accommodation here as well.
exactly.
So, and I guess that's when I throw it back to when I was really thinking about Wedding Collective, and I'm like, oh, what's the name of it? Like, yes, you can do a trail and a directory style, but we want to be a collective. It's all about working together so that it's not stale, so that you can get excited. And, you know, I think if we work together, it's just going to enhance weddings on the Gold Coast. It's really going to elevate over the next few years. So it's here. We just all need to be under this one umbrella and really enhance it.
Yeah.
Are you doing any? I know some other people we've been a part of in the past. You have like, you know, a monthly or 2 monthly catch ups and everything with the collective. Are you planning on doing anything of like that with just the vendors outside of the venues?
Well, okay, let me hold my hat because it's been a lot of work lately. So you know what I really wanted to do, because I'm here for a good time, okay? I really wanted to host a Christmas party last year, but this is also when Wedding Collective really started to take off.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I would love to do a party with just vendors.
Yeah, for
completely
sure.
not work related. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We've even, like this is totally off topic, but we've even talked about before, and Joel shot me down for it, like going... He didn't like
Is
the
he the
idea.
boring one?
I like the idea. I was like, even going to, like how we do have our Christmas parties and stuff, but we would go to a venue, but have... Like, I really don't like expo style where couple walks in and they're like, hey, I'm this vendor, I'm trying to sell to you. Like, I hate that.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
imagine there was just a place where we went to a bar and there was still only X amount of vendors going to be there, but we're going to be having drinks and stuff there, and then brides and grooms can come, but we're not essentially... We don't have our albums with us, and we don't have our this. Like, we're just hanging out, and you get to meet a few people, but that's it. I don't know. I just like that idea. That's all.
What, like speed dating with couples?
Kind of, something like that. Why not? Just like the Wedding Collective speed dating, and then just set up the vendors along, and they just move down the thing.
Yeah.
I think that might work for like maybe our industry, because they can see our work on our Insta.
Good point.
And then, you know, we're spending 9 hours with them, so we sell our personality. We want them to make sure they get along with us. But if you're a cake
Shutting
artist,
me down again, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a cake maker, they
I'll
want
do it by myself.
Like, they don't care about your personality. They just want a nice cake.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And then they'd be like, oh, we want that Celebrant over there that's just
I
been
think
sitting
Steve
at the
just
bar
wants
the
an
whole time.
He's wasted. Just buying shots for everyone.
Yeah.
Steve just wants an excuse for getting a piss up.
Exactly.
We had a bunch of people write in some questions, which is really exciting. So I might start on the two that we've got for your celebrancy side. So one of the main ones is, do you recommend having a rehearsal?
Oh, good question. Okay, my view on rehearsals, for me, they're actually completely optional. Do you know what? I don't think that couples need rehearsals, to be honest with you. The reason why is every time I've done a rehearsal, nothing goes to plan anyway. Things that I always ask my couples when we do our planning session is, do you have a professional musician? For one, that is going to alleviate so much for you. From now, when you walk down the aisle, the muso is going by you. You are not going by the music. So I think that that's a really big thing for couples to book, is a muso for the ceremony. But then I'm a professional. Like, I have got you. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to direct you and just take you on this journey on the day anyway. We have a quick chat just before the ceremony, and then usually you've booked in at a beautiful venue that have got their own coordinators there, and they know what they're doing. And we just beeline for each other, all three of us. So no, unless you have got like your whole family involved in your ceremony, then yes. But if it's
17 different readings. And
I don't do readings. So we're good.
Losers.
But I think this is just a really good question for couples to ask me as well. And then I can really have a look at what we've got going on and I can advise, but more often than not, actually, I don't think that you need it.
Yeah. Me neither.
Cool. Yeah.
There you go. And then
Tick that off.
how do we have a smooth ceremony? Like, what are some things that you personally think, like, are there any things that you've personally included in your ceremonies? Maybe you've seen other ceremony celebrants not do so much, or like, how do you feel like you're sculpting a good ceremony?
Oh, yeah, I think I actually look at this throughout the whole day as well. If I'm on as MC, is my whole vision is to make sure that their wedding isn't clunky. I hate pulling people into lots of different directions. Now we're doing this, now we're doing this. It's all about making it flow, right? Yes, we need to move into other segments if you like. It's just about tying it all together. So, yeah.
With do you do MCing for a lot of your gigs as well? Is it like celebrity and MC for majority?
Yeah, it is. So I was a celebrant first and only did ceremonies for my first year. And then around the same time that Wedding Collective came, I launched into MCing as well.
Okay.
So then over 2023, I noticed that was predominantly what I'm getting booked for now.
Oh, wow.
Is both of them for ceremony and MC, which is really good because I think that MC is still somewhat of a new thing.
MCs suck.
Like,
not good
you.
MC, but like...
Your uncle that's been on the rum and cokes all night, mate. Because I think people don't quite grasp that for an MC, there's the hosting side. There's the side of it that's like, you've got your dad, he's having speeches. Yeah, that's fine. But then behind the scenes, what you actually don't see is that I'm going to that run sheet. I'm making sure that the photographers are on the same page, the muso, that we're all ready, that, you know, the steak hasn't burnt out the back. Like everything revolves around food, guys.
Yeah, 100% does. 100%. Definitely.
Yeah, so there's also making sure that we're all doing that. But then I also see if we're running behind, sweet, no problem. Let's just like shake it up a little bit, which is easy as, but then I'll make sure that you guys are good with that too.
Yeah.
So there's that side of things. Plus, like, it is about bringing a vibe. It's about bringing a good time without it being something that it's like a whole comedy set. Like, it's not here to, you know, an MC's not here as an entertainer. They are just here to make sure that it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you don't want to stand out too much where people are like, but like you want to keep it all alive and moving.
You're just one of the guests when you're kind of standing up there, like read the room, do a bit of improv, but like OCD.
And I find
a schedule.
if we don't have a good MC on, I feel like that's half of our job come reception too, because we're like, dude, speeches are supposed to be at 7:30 and we know first dance is here, like, and we're kind of trying to shuffle everyone up and we're going to the bride like, hey, we need to start speeches. And like you feel like a jerk for doing that, but you kind of have to keep things moving.
But then they don't know that you got to go set up your special equipment and your special camera and your lighting. Like, if you just tell me I need 5-10 minutes and I'll be like, no problem, I'll just go and like do a random as like selfie with everyone or something, you know? So they don't grasp that concept behind it.
For sure. And like same thing, like we'll be, you know, stashed in a back room eating some food and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, and we're getting started into the next episode. And we're like, shit. So like having a good team, it all comes back to team, just like everyone collaborating, but it definitely makes it a lot better of an experience when you've got someone that is in that position.
And just gets it.
I know it's money, but also like there's just some spots where you should just spend some money.
Thank you, Lauren Bridges Celebrant.
It's on all the in lists this year. Like, you know, everyone's putting out the things that are in for 2024, and it's definitely like a properly planned wedding and putting money into vendors that you really align with. You know, there is the DIY kind of thing for now is kind of gone for a little bit, and it feels like people are kind of really like, this is an event. Put money into it and get the best people, and you rock up and have an amazing day, and that's all you have to do. Which is really nice.
And you don't want to think about anything on your wedding day.
Like,
you don't want us
think
getting
about it.
you up at reception being like, hey, we're going to start speeches. You just like get yourself a team that's just all over it.
And this is the other thing, like I was talking to this couple the other day and they were just going through their run sheet, hadn't even booked them yet, but we did. And they were like, can we do this? How's this run sheet look? And just super quickly on the video chat, I'm like, there you go. You've got half an hour free time. Go have a cocktail at Cocktail Hour. And they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I can have that? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's literally 10 half an hour little minutes, but go chill out for a second because you do get pulled in every which direction.
Yeah.
But if I can see that there's going to be some chill time, I go for it.
We had a wedding on the weekend and Joel actually had to pull him aside. You could tell like it was a fun wedding, but the bride and groom were pretty frazzled by what was going on. Yeah. And Joel's like, look, can you just go up there and just have 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And like we just stood away and we just chatted to everyone else and just gave them 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we could actually go for portraits after and they were nice and calm and back into each other. Because before that, the same thing, like they had kids and they're just getting pulled in all these different directions. And it's so nice to just have that time.
Yeah,
Just take 5 and then I'm going to be able to do a better job because you're in the right mindset, because you're kind of reconnected back together rather than doing jobs and being parents and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm the best.
He told me to say that.
Here's a 20.
100.
The other one, so this is more on the wedding collective side of things. So someone said, we won't have time to visit all the venues. Which ones are a must?
Ooh, they're also different.
It's a tricky one because I read it. I was like, this is a bit.
I know.
I don't know.
Switzerland, they're all amazing.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is a really hard. It's like asking me which one of my kids is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell us later off air.
yeah.
We've all got favorites.
Oh, it's really hard because I've been to every single one of these venues anyway. I've worked at them. I know them like personally. I've eaten their food. So I don't know. It just depends what you want. Do you want something that is a bit central? Then Kwila Lodge is perfect. It's stunning. It's kind of got this oldish charm, but it's also really modern as well. Then you've got Rosewood. That's just a different vibe. Like it's got the views. It's got the marquee. You can arrive by helicopter. I don't know. Grant's Estate is just stunning. It's kind of like that old money vibe, right? Like just depends what you want. What's your style? It's got to feed your soul. You've got to picture yourself there. So I can't answer this question.
Have you got many people thinking that they're going to, okay, actually, where are you going to be for the open day?
I'm going to bounce around.
That's what I was going to say. Is there anyone going to try and get to all 9 on the day?
Me.
Oh, yeah? Amazing.
Awesome. 4 minutes here, 4 minutes there.
Yeah, totally. I have had DMs about people wanting to see each venue, but I mean, ultimately, I just don't think that that's possible. Yeah. But you can always book in a private tour with them anyway. Like you still got options there. You can, stalk all the vendors online. They're all going to be tagged in socials. I'm sure that they'll be tagging as well. I think, also go and see some vendors that you really want because they're going to be there to talk to you. So I think just base it around what's really important.
Yeah. And coming back to before how you're saying like actually take your time at the venues. Like you wouldn't want to be rushing around like cool, like maybe you get to 2 or something that are close by, but you actually get to really experience, the venues as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm assuming you've got a website with all like the venues and stuff like on there. So people would be able to check out those and be like, cool, this is one that I like the look of. Let's go check it out and kind of come up with like a little bit of I call it like a Christmas light looking. We always get like those that route, and you're like, cool, we're going to go to this set of lights first, and then we're going to get that one. And
you've got to map out your day because we've got the beautiful Bower Estate is 45 minutes from Mudgeeraba. So for me personally, I think that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to be there ready at like probably 9:30 before couples get there because I want to see it all, and then I'll make my way back down.
Yeah, cool.
But that is definitely one of the most beautiful venues.
It's stunning out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be beautiful food. And even speaking to Chris, the other time we spoke to Chris, and he was saying like, well, people only see him when he's at weddings. Like when he's playing, he could people can only see him when they're at weddings, and that's how he kind of books all of his jobs. Yeah. And like how good it is be able to come to this venue and you're going to see like a muso playing. Like if there is someone certain you want to see, you can actually see them playing and how they interact, and it doesn't have to be on a wedding day.
Yeah. And I think I just know all the vendors that are here, and they're just here for a good time as well. So we don't have that whole lineup of like expo style, boom. It's like just a few here, a few there, come and go, enjoy it. Honestly, they just want to chill out and have a good day as well.
100%.
And like we all work together. Yeah. So
no one likes approaching you like trying to make it sound like you're selling. We're as uncomfortable as you are. Give us some shots.
So I mean like, talk to them as a bunch, talk to, the photographer that's also next to the muso at the same time and just have a good convo.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And then lastly, do we need to lock anything in on the day, or can we gather a bunch of information and decide over the weekend or something like that?
I think a bit of both, actually. I know that so many venues and vendors have got amazing deals for couples.
Yep.
So they all range as well. But again, I think it's such a big decision. So to sit on a decision overnight isn't a bad idea either. But I do think this is something that you want to jump in by the end of the weekend, or like by Monday even.
Yeah, because I do see a lot of like say competitions and giveaways going on, like where you have to be at a certain venue and register at the venue as well.
Yeah,
Sounds like there's
absolutely.
a lot of big things happening.
You know, there's Tall Trees Telebudra Valley that have got just a phenomenal giveaway. I think it's something like 7,000 off booking a 2024 wedding, not to mention all the vendors that they've got there, and they have got amazing vendors there. So I think that is a venue that is definitely worth viewing.
Yeah.
Can you take a helicopter there?
No.
I can't fly
take a
from
limo.
Rosewood down to there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so many giveaways, and then we've got, you know, Passion Dash at the Grants Estate as well, so you have to go and see them, and you can win an elopement.
Oh, wow.
And lucky couple also gets me as their celebrant.
No one visit. No.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to go to Tall Trees and to the grounds.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so obviously you've been going crazy business-wise and everything and growing the collective. Anything on the horizon? I know you're probably crazy busy up until Sunday. Is there anything after that point where you're like expanding that, or what's happening there?
Oh, yeah. Look, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. I think that this is only the start of Wedding Collective, and it's not just going to stop at the platform and the open day. There are some big things in plans.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that I can drop here is our second open day date is happening on Sunday, the 18th of August. Which is super exciting. We've got venues locked in, ready to go. All our amazing vendors will also get invited to that one. But we will be starting applications for new vendors very soon as well.
Beautiful.
And the demand for the 2025 February open day is well and truly knocking on my door. So once I've like collected myself, I think we'll look at that very soon.
Well, that's crazy, isn't it?
awesome.
Like, especially if you can get like such a good turnout for the first one. That's insane. Like, just there are so many people around the Gold Coast. Like, there is so much demand.
Yeah.
It's just amazing what you've done already.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So do you have anything else that you'd like to add about the collective before we end up wrapping up?
Just join it.
Just join it. Yeah.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Like a lot has gone in behind this, a lot of thought process, and this is only the beginning. And I think that this is something that people want to jump on now, because we are almost fully booked as well in certain.
Yeah. Is there a max capacity that you have for like the trail, or are you just like, we'll take 7,000,
As far as guests coming.
guests coming into the property and stuff?
Oh, like more the better. Yeah, I'll take 7,000 tickets. I don't think there's a limit on it for me. I think more the better, and this is why I've gone quite big with my marketing straight off the bat as well. Like we've had radio ad campaigns going. We've got CFM and Bella's coming here to
awesome.
Kwila Lodge. Also just the social media and the ads that have been going around have been huge as well. So I really invested professionals into doing this for me, because I needed to do it right. I'm not a professional at everything. So if I can't nail it myself, I will outsource it to somebody that can, because I genuinely care. And I really want these venues and vendors to have the best day and get the most out of it, because I know the effort that we put into our marketing and, giving up a Sunday that, we could spend with our families, because we do work a lot of weekends. And I appreciate the time that vendors and venues are putting aside for this trail. So, yeah.
Actually, I want to ask about, because I think venues would have been probably the hardest to get on board. Like, how was the process of even booking in venues and saying like, hey, we want this date, and then getting them to lock in those days? Because I'm sure, is that the hardest part, the venue side?
No, actually that was the easiest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I just think I've got a good open communication with them off the bat anyway as a celebrant.
Okay.
And they see the need for this
Yep.
as well. They're keen to trust the process and just see how we go. And they are working with me as well to just make sure that it's a benefit for everyone. If there's anything I need, if there's anything that they need. So that's good. I think for me, it was the vendors that has been the hardest.
Yep.
So I think we started the outreach in maybe June.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people sat back for a little bit and just watched it happen.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk behind the scenes, and I know that there was, and I get it as well.
Yep.
And then as soon as December and January hit, bang, I doubled the vendors onboarding.
Yeah.
So there
It's
was
like the
definitely
FOMO kicking in.
Yeah, especially when you hear that, your mate that you work with all the time is going to do it and they're going to trust it. And I guess once, I talked to these vendors at weddings as well and really like helped them understand what it was.
Yep.
And I think that helped as well. But the vendors has been the big side of it. But I mean, we've got like 22 photographers now on board. So I'm done with photographers. I'm done. Even like florist stylists is huge. That was actually the first one that everyone jumped on. I think straight away, like back in August, I think we already had all the mapped out for who's styling what areas.
Yep.
So that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And was that pretty hard as far as like certain photographers or certain vendors wanting to all be at X venue trying to like push that around?
And I do want to try and make sure that everyone's happy as well, but ultimately I can't appease everybody in every aspect. But I also need to think I am trying to align venues and vendor brands that best coincide together.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
Yeah, especially if there's been a photographer that's shot there a bunch of times, then probably they're going to be there because it already resonates with each other.
Yeah, and I mean, I do look over all the vendor lists from the venues as well. I see who they recommend, I see who they work with, and what their vision is as well. Because business is always shifting.
Totally.
It is always shifting for, trends, wedding trends, the venues and vendors as well. You got to keep on top of the game. There are all these fresh new vendors and venues out there, and I am one of them.
Yeah.
And they are taking over the market.
Yeah, for sure.
So you need to keep up with it. So yeah, I think you just got to like keep it fresh when bringing people in.
Yeah, definitely. And then would there be a limit on venues, like numbers? Like so you've got 9 for this year. Do you expect there to be more in the coming years?
Well, I want to cap it at 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
because I also need to think that if I had venues everywhere, ideally couples just wouldn't be able to see them. So when I bring in venues, I need to think, if I've got one that's all the way out and like the whoops, but everybody else is here, I cannot guarantee that I can move the traffic over to that venue. And I just don't want to under-deliver if I can't. So I'm very conscious of where venues are. So yeah, I do think about everything.
Yeah, because essentially it is almost delivering for the venues. It is delivering for everyone, but for like in my opinion, you're kind of the foremost is delivering for the venues. Like we know how much effort you're going to be putting into like gardeners and getting maintenance and everything done. You kind of do need a payoff.
Yeah.
And I guess that is why it's hard for vendors as well, because there are so many different collectives and not so much collectives, but say like trails and all the different directories and everything. It is hard to then be like to put your faith in another one. So it probably will take like, after the first one and it kills it, then all of a sudden you'll be like, I don't have time for all you guys. Like there's going to be too many people coming to you.
Yeah.
So
just stick with us. You'll be fine.
It's one of those things that it's like, we've got like the Tweed Trail and then like there's Brisbane, Sunny Coast and Scenic Rim and like all these things. It's like $500 here, $1,000 there. Like Hello Made, $2.5 there. You just oh gee, and it's like you might book one from all of them, so it's just like it kind of was worth it, but also at the same time it's just like So,
and this is the thing: is I come with Wedding Collective Gold Coast as a vendor. I've seen it. I've done these trails myself. I've done these expos. I've like tried and tested it, and I get it. I get it on the vendor end. So, and I don't want it to be like that. Where you're just
Which is good. I think it's exciting. I think that's why there's obviously clear success already with it because you're putting in the effort, which is great.
700 weddings in 2 years or something. Is that right?
yeah.
And she does photo and video.
Where can I upsell?
Those new Google Vision Pro, or the Apple Vision things. You're just filming off that. And just got you rolling around. That's great.
Perfect. All right. Well, I think we're pretty good there. We've been rolling for, almost 50 minutes. So thank you very much for coming in for the chat. I know, actually, where can everyone find out about you and about the collective on the weekend and the open day?
Well, best to jump on the website and register for your ticket because we are sending out just updates by email and text on just where to go and things like that. But also Instagram. Instagram's such a big platform in the wedding industry. So you want to jump on that. We've got all the vendors there. I'm going to be jumping on that live all day on my stories. So get ready for a lot of Lauren. But yeah.
So it's Lauren Bridges Celebrant?
Lauren Bridges Celebrant.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And then the Wedding Collective Gold Coast?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Perfect.
Amazing.
And dates for the August 19th?
August 18th.
18th, sorry.
Yeah.
August 18th. So
Sunday,
I'm sure
18th.
that'll all drop after this one's all finished. You'll start hyping that one. pretty regular after it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, getting everybody on board and locked in because it needs to run like clockwork next time. We can't do this whole, the vendors coming on board, you guys killed me, I have to say. And it's not going to happen like that next time. But I think it was just, first open day.
So when you say that the vendors killed you and it's not going to happen like that next time, what was were people just joining last minute and they were wanting to be at this venue and all that sort of stuff? Or
I think vendors killing me just meant, you
Don't
guys were
press whistling.
lurking for so long.
Yeah.
And I think this is the thing is everyone jumped on, after Christmas, and it was a lot of workload for us. And I think behind the scenes, I don't think people quite grasp what it is to do it, to set up the profiles
and all that.
Rick's been working overtime, late nights, things like this, just to get people on board. And then people really demanding certain venues, which I totally get because you want to align yourself with them. But, when I've had vendors that have jumped on board back in June and then vendors jumping on board in the last 2 weeks.
Exactly. Who are you going to look after?
Guys,
exactly right.
Places fill up really quickly.
Yeah.
And given that all these vendors are going to get invited to the next open day as well, it's going to fill up really quickly. So, but I won't need to do that last push so close to it. It's only because it was the first open day.
Makes
so.
sense. Yeah, perfect.
But love you guys. Love you.
Awesome. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on for a chat. Really appreciate it. And good luck with Sunday. I can't wait to see what comes of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, boys. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wedco podcast. We're dropping a fresh episode every week featuring industry professionals dishing out the wedding wisdom you need to turn those dreams into reality. Make sure you are following us on social media, you have those notifications turned on so we can help plan your wedding day. Your dream wedding day just got a whole lot easier. Thanks for listening.